Alright, one take, let's do this. Hello everyone, welcome to a little tutorial on how to play the game Day of Despair that we're working on. It occurred to me that there's no sort of in-game manual or help or anything like that, so I'm just going to make a little video and we're going to go through it together. So, first things first, how do you actually download the game? Well, you have two options. Number one is you do it through GitHub, which I will show later. The best option is probably to use the launcher that I made, because I know a lot of people don't really like using GitHub, and it is a developer first platform. That's why they kind of point you to the code, the source code. But that being said, I do have a launcher that kind of bypasses all that stuff. So here I do. The launcher opened up. Now normally I will never link to this page. I will link to this right here, this launcher. So if you just enter that, link in the description, it'll just download a zip folder. Now, if you want to use this, you have to have the C#/.NET runtimes installed. So make sure you got that. Then, if you're using WinRAR, you can just extract it. If not, I know there's a way to do it with Windows. You can extract it with Windows. But I'm going to use WinRAR because it's objectively the best. So here we are. We go into here, and we've got the launcher. So just double click that exe, and it'll give you a little pop-up here. So how the launcher works is you can get whatever version of the game you want with whatever arguments you want. And to what I call an instance, the Minecraft Java launcher has the same exact thing. That was kind of my inspiration for writing this. But if you don't have any on startup, it'll go ahead and tell you that you don't have any, and it shows how to do it. And we got two ways. You either click this button, or you right click. I prefer to right click, but you do you. So we're going to just go ahead and give that a name, call it MVP, since that's the most recent version that I have. And then arguments. Technically, Unreal Engine does have some arguments, but I personally have not created any, so there's not any custom functionality for that. So just go ahead and leave it blank, but definitely do not type in anything here. Make sure it's completely blank, no new lines or anything. Anyways, after that is done, you just go ahead and click create, and then it shows up in this little box here. Click it to have it selected, and then you should be able to play. If you do not have the game downloaded, it'll go ahead and do that as well. And if you'd like to know where it downloads it from, well, check out here. It gets whatever version you get here. So go ahead and just go ahead and let that download. And you can see it launches just fine. And then of course, if you exit, it tells you the exit code. It's useful if it, crashes or whatever. Although since it's an Unreal Engine game, it'll actually give you that information as well. All right, so let's go ahead and try out the other way of doing it. So if we close out of that one. So, let's say we go to the public Day of Despair repository. We can go to releases here, and then we can get it from the assets here. And of course, if there's any sort of links on here, you can go ahead and do that here. Or you can actually click them, Go fill this out, by the way, if you play it, because I'd love to know your feedback. Just go ahead and click this here, and it does it. Alright, so once you have it downloaded, just go ahead and unzip it. Go into here, and you just click the exe. Piece of cake, right? And you can click to skip the logos if you don't want to see them. First thing that you're going to want to do, and I hate to have to make anybody do this, is make sure your graphics are set to high. Do not play on Ultra. I do not recommend it. I can't even run the game on Ultra. I didn't even test the game in Ultra and the Unreal Editor. I have it on Medium with global illumination and shadows set to high. But yeah, Ultra runs like crap, and it looks exactly the same as high. So just make sure you're using that one. And of course, you can adjust settings as you want, and they have little preview things. Master volume does not work at the moment, but I'm sure in a future edition it will. So let's actually go ahead and get into the game, shall we? Alright, looks like we got a pretty interesting spawn here. So, WASD to move, pretty basic stuff. Mouse to look around. Tab toggles the inventory. If you don't want to press the button to close it, you can, of course, just click the X. There isn't any sort of jumping or anything right now. Well, looks like I've been spotted. But if you hold Alt, you can free look. It's very janky right now. And also, if you have a... Well, actually, I'll show you a fun little bug in a second. So, we have a few different slots here. We have our hand, which represents the item we currently have equipped. We have a little shirt here for the clothes that we're wearing. Doesn't do anything right now, but, you know, future crossing fingers. We have this vest, which, of course, as you might guess, reduces the amount of damage you take. You guys mind. Then we have a bag, which, you know, I'm sure you can guess what a backpack lets you do. And if you would like to interact with things, you can either hold right-click, which brings up what I call the action menu, or you can just click. Just tap right-click. If you hold it for like half a second and then release, you get this menu. I'm probably going to have a option to change how that works. So if you're watching this in the future, you know, there you go. So it's not always going to show the same thing on here, like that. And doors can only be locked from the inside. And of course, if you... Very nice. So I'm actually going to get a different spawn, because I don't want to get attacked immediately. Alright, this is actually much better. So, you know, of course, do that. And just clicking, right-click, just tapping it, always gives you the first one. So, if you ever, or I should say inevitably, run across an item, you can, of course, you know, hold right-click to do that, tap it to pick it up, or what I prefer is to open up your inventory and then just get it from there. Now you can either drag it or you can right click it to instantly equip it. And equipped items have no weight. It's supposed to, you know, represent having it on your body. Probably shouldn't be 0, should probably be more like half, rounded up or down. Probably down, because in your favor. But yeah, if you do have an item in your hand and you want to use it, you just left click. Pretty basic stuff. Most of the time it plays a sound. Other times it'll, you know, make a shoot noise. All right, let's go into this building here. More pills. Must be giving these things out like candy. Here we go. One of the best weapons in the game. So if you hover over an item, it will of course give you some information about it, like its name, the category, and any sort of specific things relating to that item. All items have information like their mass, name, and some description in there. But of course, you know, pills and drinks and stuff like that tells you what and how much they restore. And guns has their damage, range, fire rate, what kind of ammo they take, and how much is in there. So that way you don't have to equip it. And see how much there is on the top right. Sorry. Fun little fact about guns is if you pull up the action menu on them, you can unload them. It's a very handy thing if you have 1,000 guns. I do not have a dedicated reload key. That's gonna come very soon, but you know, 30 days, it's hard to get everything in there. So right now you just shoot on an empty mag to reload it. I will warn you that zombies can hear whenever you fire. It's not as high as it probably should be, but they do hear, so. And of course there's little particle effects. And if you shoot something, it of course makes a little noise too. Very fun. Anyways, I think that's about it. Don't really think there's anything I should go over. Anything else I need to go over. You'll just have to experiment around and see what's there. Hopefully I explained the basics and have fun. And send me feedback.